What's up, YouTube? So, in this video, I'm going to be going over the Miami Dolphins game day report before we play the Baltimore Ravens Week 2. It should be a pretty good matchup. Going to kind of go over some of the injuries. I'll be taking a look at both depth charts and stuff like that. I've already done the film, like kind of scouting the Ravens, even though we kind of know what to expect as far as scheme and everything goes. So, yeah, anyway. So Savannah Ahmed, yeah, I don't think he'll play, but I don't think it really matters. He's pretty far down the depth chart at this point. I don't know how much he would play, even if he was active. I don't even know if we'd bring him into our 46. I think 3 running backs is probably fine. But regardless, I don't really see him playing. I don't see a reason to rush him back. Teron Armstead, I hope he plays. We're already going to be without Austin Jackson. He has been put on a IR, so that means he'll be out for at least 4 weeks, which is unfortunate. So hopefully Teron Armstead can go. He's a veteran. He's played through injuries before, and he did go back into the game last week. So I'm kind of really hoping that he can play. But if he can't, when we get into the depth chart, I will talk about who I would like to replace him if he doesn't go. Ethan Carter and Hunter Long are both out at tight end. That just kind of is what that is. But as you can see here, Tanner Connor is active, which is great. So I think we're fine at tight end. Melvin Ingram's good to go. Cedric Wilson with a toe injury. I kind of feel like he'll play, but if not, we do have receivers. I think we brought some receivers. I think we brought up River Craycraft just in case. So I think we'll be fine as far as receiver goes. I think he can fill in as a slot receiver. Yeah, Xavier Howard will play. He practiced fine Friday. I think he'll play. Yeah, why is he even questionable? It wasn't injury related. It was just vet rest. I don't know why he's on the game status list. Brandon Jones had a hip thing. Okay, he's fine. Christian Wilkins, I think Christian Wilkins will play. Let's just be real. I don't see him missing. Okay, so let's take a look at the Ravens. J.K. Dobbins is questionable. That's interesting. That would help for sure. But he had full participation all week, so I kind of think he'll play. Let's just be real. Travis Jones will probably play. Again, full participation Thursday and Friday. He'll probably play. Marcus Peters, he had full participation Thursday. He'll probably play. That was probably just not wanting to rush him back. He'll probably play. James Prochet didn't participate the last 2 days. Yeah, doubtful. Yeah, he'll probably be out. That's okay. Patrick might not be. We'll see. And that actually does affect them. They use the fullback a lot. They'll probably just sub in a tight end, like maybe Nick Boyle or something, because it looks like he'll be playing. Brandon Stevens didn't participate the last 2 days. He'll probably be out. Marlon Humphrey, I don't know. That could just be like a vet rest thing, just in case. So we'll see. All right, so let's take a look at the Dolphins depth chart now. We did bring up Larnell Coleman, and like I said, we brought up River Craycraft as well. So that does kind of make me wonder if Cedric Wilson could play, but this could just be a just-in-case thing. So we'll see as far as that goes. Like I said, tight end, we have Durham Smythe, Mike Gesicki. And I do think that Tanner Connor as our third tight end is absolutely fine. He had a really good training camp and preseason. I actually think he's better than Hunter Long, for sure. And Ethan Carter kind of has his own role as a H-back. But that just kind of is what that is. But I did say that I would give you, my thoughts on what we should do if Teron Armstead can't go. I kind of already talked about it when I said that Teron Armstead and Austin Jackson might not play. I made that video earlier in the week. If that's the case, I actually wouldn't want to start Greg Little at right tackle. I would rather start him at left tackle. Because I know we brought up Larnell Coleman, but I do not want to see that guy out there for anything. I'd rather start Greg Little at left tackle, slide Robert Hunt to right tackle, which he has done before. He played right tackle his whole rookie year, and we have, played him at right tackle during training camp and things like that. So I would put Robert Hunt at right tackle and then start Robert Jones at right guard if Teron Armstead can't play. Or if at any point in the game Teron Armstead, he does play but then has to go out, like if he re-aggravates it or something like that. That would be what I would do. I'm not trying to bring Larnell Coleman out there unless it's an absolute emergency. We've seen him through preseason. He was pretty whack. Unfortunately, Brandon Shell just isn't ready. Let me kind of take a look at our practice squad here. James Empey is actually a center. Looks like our undrafted guys got picked up. That's unfortunate. Keon Smith isn't great either. Also, I feel like the fact that we didn't bring up Ben Steely probably hints at the fact that Christian Wilkins would probably play. Because otherwise, we only have 3, big boy defensive linemen. Because Emmanuel Agba is kind of in a weird position. But I do think he'll probably play. Zach Sealer might end up getting more snaps than usual. He might kind of fill in for Christian Wilkins more than he typically would. But I think that's okay. I don't really have an issue with that. And maybe we put Raekwon Davis at 3-4 defensive end a little bit more because he is capable of doing that. And then put John Jenkins in at nose. That could be something we could do. And we play a lot of nickel and stuff like that too, so I'm not really that concerned. And Eric Rowe seems to be back, so that's great. So we'll probably do some big nickel things, which we really couldn't do a whole lot of last week. So that's fun. Melvin Ingram, Andrew Van Ginkel, Jalen Phillips. That's fine for edge. I kind of feel like Trey Flowers probably won't be on the 46 again this week. But I actually would like him to be on the 46 this week, especially if Christian Wilkins might not play. Just because the Ravens do run the ball a lot, and Trey Flowers is a pretty good run defender. So I wouldn't mind having him on the active roster. So, yeah, that's a thing. All right, let's take a look at the Ravens. If J.K. Dobbins can't go, honestly, Kenyon Drake is a fine replacement for him, and Justice Hill is good enough to be a receiving back, and Kenyon Drake is a decent receiver too, to be fair. The receiving core without James Prochet is still fine. Tylan Wallace is a solid receiver. So that is what that is. Like I said, if Pat can't go, Nick Boyle will probably sub in there. Daniel Falile will probably start at left tackle if I would that's what I would imagine they would do. If so, I definitely want to take advantage of that. He's really big, but he's actually not as powerful as you would think. Like, he's 400 pounds, but he actually plays like a much smaller player. So I actually want to see what Emmanuel Agba does to him. I'll be very curious to see that. Travis Jones, that is what that is. They don't really have a backup nose tackle, which is interesting. That might be something that could come up. Their safeties are still good, and like I said on the film session, they do like to move their safeties around. Now, having 3 corners questionable is an interesting thing to see. Even if they do play, just the fact that they are injured. Like, what was the injuries for them? Marcus Peters was a knee. Brandon Stevens was a quad, and Marlon Humphrey a groin. Like, those are all things that could really affect a corner. So we'll have to see like where they're at health-wise, like even if they do play. So that'll be something kind of interesting to kind of see. Weird that they have him listed as a non-football injury, even though it is a football injury. He just didn't get injured as a Raven. He was injured coming into the league. That's interesting. Yeah, they're already without Gus Edwards. That's unfortunate. Dalen Hayes, Charlie Collar. I forgot that they had Charlie Collar too. I forgot that they drafted 2 tight ends. What does their practice squad look like? Surprised they don't just bring up Ben Mason to be their fullback. I liked him at Michigan. That means that they're probably comfortable with him playing then. Patrick Ricard. I'm pretty sure they're probably pretty comfortable with him playing if he's not on the active roster. I love Ardarius Washington. I know he's a little bitty, but his mental processing is really good. I really liked him a lot. Okay. Just kind of wanted to take a peek at that real quick, see what players we might be able to kind of snatch up at some point. Wouldn't mind Ardarius Washington, and I actually really like Tyler Beatty at running back too. So that could be a thing. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. If you liked it, I appreciate hitting that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.